I'm not exactly sure why I've all of a sudden became some kind of expert on critics. But the topic just hecklers, garbage, it just keeps coming up, and I feel like there's people out there that are trying to create something and do something and accomplish something, and they think somehow they need to be immune, or they're gonna belittle someone else that disagrees, or someone that acts in a way that might not even, be societally appropriate per se. But here we are sitting in this pixelated landscape telling people how to think, and I don't understand. Alright, constructive criticism. Alright, Isabella, higher knowledge. Somebody having higher knowledge. Constructive criticism is not somebody having higher knowledge in a chosen field. Constructive criticism comes from anyone from any hierarchical level in their field and point of view. There's no higher, mentor bringing someone up. I mean, in an ideal fashion, yeah, okay, great. I have more experience and knowledge. I have more experience and knowledge in criticism than you do. So I guess in that way, this should be constructive to you. But I'm probably going to come off like a heckler. Because this is an evaluation, this is a review. Does that make me garbage? I mean, I understand you're trying to make people that you talk to feel good, make yourself feel good. Hell, I want you to feel good. I'm not here to make you feel bad. But I'm certainly not going to let you just push forth things that inherently are not making sense. I mean, alright, well, first of all, you're talking about your hair, alright? I'm getting, and maybe it's just bad timing for you, and just an emotional expression that's happening for me, but I'm getting a little, like, my filter is getting a little worn down, and I usually am a very empathic person. I give people very empathic views and things to say, but it's enough. I mean, everybody is walking around with this thin little skin. I can see your veins at this point, and it gets a little tiresome. I mean, what are you gonna run an Oprah dummy move? You know what I'm saying? This is just like it's like. And in that way, I do have to check myself. But you know what? Right now, that's not what I'm feeling. That's not my expression. This is how I'm going to feel better, okay? And it's not mean-hearted. It's not mean-spirited. I don't play that game. But I am real, okay? So I'm just going to continue, all right? With that being said, you're talking about your hair, okay? As if you're talking into some social organizational group which doesn't include the masses, the people that stumble on these things. I mean, mass analysts brought that home, I think, fairly well. I am Heckler Garbage. I mean, I'm not going to call myself garbage. That's for you, Maskey. What I am going to say, though, is I get the point, all right? I don't think you're garbage. I don't think you're perfect, Isabella. And I think you're entitled to your views, but you're gonna be criticized from someone that actually might have higher knowledge in this field. Psychology. I haven't even checked out your stuff enough to know where your field is. I mean, but you dropped Jamie Kennedy's name, so you're obviously a name dropper, right? And you're talking about your art and your creativity, and I guess it'll take time for me to actually see that. So in that way, I'm coming in a little green. But, some people just hit me at this barrier level, and I'm just like, okay, and, So they say talking about creators and then people designed to destroy. No, this is creation. I'm not designed to destroy false thought, yeah. I'm using my creative principle of mind, my understanding, discerning self. Does that make me, because I'm destroying your bubble that you're creating, that's not even, that doesn't even look warranted? I mean, it goes back to the balloon analogy. If you got a balloon and it needs to be popped, you pop it. So, once again, I'm coming off in this agitated, mean, ticked off state, and it's just so much of this, people are out here. What are they expecting? What are you expecting? I'm asking you. Talking about people being unoriginal, nobody likes them, no use, no good, and that they're evil. Are we back on this axis of evil? I mean, do you work for Bush? I mean, why are you talking about people so disrespectfully? I mean, that's the same thing you're going to get back. Most respectfully said. I mean, that's just how it's going to happen. You know, and I'm going to give you one important point, which was the point about honesty and meanness. I've been talking about this for a long time. People constantly, I get hit with this all the time, and I got to give you that one. People always saying, I got to be honest, and then they say something mean. That's not honesty. You're 100% correct there. But must do it with empathy. You know, if you want, it's true that it is suggested to talk with empathy, and if you want the proper reactions and situations to come back to you, empathy is the way to move forward. To say if you're not doing that, and that you must do that, and if you don't do that, you're a child, and it's unneeded. I mean, what worldview are you working on that you're going to tell people what they must do, call them children, calling them evil, and telling them that their behavior is unneeded? What's necessary? Just because it's not necessary to you and your little inner framework, inner circle, you know, your Jamie Kennedyites or something? I mean, what is that? You know, maybe you need something a little deeper than empathy, and you need something that cuts a little bit more to the core. And I am a major proponent of empathy. But I do not tell people what they must do, belittle them as children, and tell them that they're evil. I'm not calling you names. If you want to deal with the character and the situation and what it makes you feel, that's fine. Resorting to name calling is belittling your own point. Is that evil? I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to fall into that well. So, and then the thick skin thing, yeah, you do have to have a certain level of thick skin. I'm not going to deal with it too much. I've talked about it, you know. And then to go right and then say do best, do right, you're bulletproof, and they're garbage. Okay, this is the dichotomy. This is the duality that's created. And it's funny, you're downplaying the thick skin, and then you have to be bulletproof. What's the difference? I mean. And how is the sense going to sink in if you're so bulletproof all the time? You know, and if you don't want free thinkers and people that are on their feet and that are just there to appreciate and go, oh, it's so nice, I love it, it was so well done, it was so to the point. That's what you get when you get yes men. So many people surround themselves with a retinue of yes people, and that's what they're stuck with. These people that are like, oh yes, you're so on point, you're so right, you're just so great, oh let me kiss your feet, you know, like the clay feet of a Buddha. You know, we need real human people to lead us. Not people that are building themselves on a foundation of sensitivity and hurt and emotional protection and then shooting darts at people. So, I mean, you've left yourself open for a lot to criticize. Under your definition, I presume I would be a heckler, which I'm not. And I will say, pardon the tone, this is the way I'm emotionally feeling right now, the same way you had a certain feeling that was being energized or out, and you know, and I hope that maybe it does answer to certain people or fulfill certain needs, and maybe this is what people want. Maybe people don't want reality and they need your POV. But what I'm going to give people is reality, a POV that is built on some sort of formulated logic that holds together. And I think that you want to do that too. You know, I sense the goodness. There's a lot of goodness coming out and a lot of warmth. It's just we can't lead people astray. I mean, why are we going to lead people astray? And I get up on my high horse a little bit when I feel like that's what's happening, and that people are just kind of fulfilling their own little twist, and it's I don't know if it's not fully formulated or if they're just trying to make themselves feel better, or I don't know where it lies. And in that way, I would like to hear from you some kind of follow-up or a secondary answer. Okay? I'm not condoning cruelty. I do not condone cruelty. I do not roll like that. That's not the game I play. Okay? I am not sitting here belittling people's thoughts and being mean-hearted and mean-spirited. Like I said, I've got a little up on this.